All right. First and foremost, call hello Yahweh. We just about Hashem Yahweh Shai. It's Brother Rockwell Sakari Detroit with another quick lesson through the spirit, man. Before I get into this lesson though, let me get my plugs in real quick. First plug, man, is make sure y'all go and y'all subscribe to Sakari Detroit YouTube channel, man. Going live every Sunday around 1 o'clock. You know, we got some heat on this channel through the spirit of Most High God Yahweh. See what I'm saying? So make sure y'all subscribe to the Sakari Detroit channel. Make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. Rakwam Sakari is just getting up and running. You know, we got a couple good videos on there, man. So make sure y'all go subscribe to my channel too. And subscribe to all the Sakari channels. The Sakari main channel, the Sakari Water, Sakari Chicago, Sakari San Diego, Sakari Seattle, Deacon Destruction Mode. You know, make sure you subscribe to all the YouTube channels. If you want that book you saw Chief go into this past week called Marks of a Lost Race by the Elder Bibbins, go to lostrace.shop.com. It's completely free. You know what I'm saying? So if you want that, and go get your illustrated reference Bible from mybibleculture.com. It looks like this. Make sure you tap in with those brothers, man, and get that book. So without any further ado, I'm gonna get straight into it. This lesson is on Salakia. Let me do this first. But this lesson is on what do you call it? The biblical concepts of karma. I got the idea. The idea for this lesson came from dealing with family members, man. You know, because you tell them the judgments of the other nations, and that's when they get all bent out of shape. When you tell them Esau's judgment or the other nation's judgment, they get all bent out of shape. You see what I'm saying? And they basically say that what they did, we should basically just let go. You know what I'm saying? Just let go of it. It happened. Now move on. And that's the mindset of our people. They feel like you should just let what happened happen and just move on from it. But the Bible teaches something different. And to be 100% honest, they believe in something different. They believe in the concept called karma. You see what I'm saying? So we just gonna deal with what karma is and show that the Bible shows concepts of karma. You know what I'm saying? And show that what ultimately goes around comes around. So let me share my screen again. I'm still sharing. All praises. So this is like I always like to start off with my lessons, man. Whatever the topic is, I like to get the etymology of that word. This is online etymology dictionary for karma. In Buddhism, the sum of a person's action in one life, which determines his form in the next. Action, where it comes from the Sanskrit word karma, meaning action, work, deed, or fate, related to the Sanskrit. I'm not even about to try to pronounce that. He makes or to make form. Latterly adopted by Western popular meditative groups, it is related to the second element in Sanskrit. So then we're gonna go to the modern definition of karma. So basically, the idea behind karma is what goes around comes around. So you might have been wicked in this life that you in, and in the next life you got to pay for that, man. And the Bible gives concepts and scriptures and supports that theory, that doctrine. So I want to get into a couple precepts. I'm gonna start with Revelation 13:10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So you see, it says that he that leads somebody into captivity, he shall go into captivity. That's a karmaic concept right there. If you lead in captivity, you got to go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So if you lead somebody into captivity, you go into captivity. If you kill, you must be killed. And what it said, what's that last part there? Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So if you're a saint, you patiently waiting. You have faith in the karma that your enemies had onto you. And make it all tie in together at the end. 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 and verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. So let's go into this word, recompense. Recompense. Make amends for loss or harm suffered. Compensate. Compensation or reward given for loss or harm suffered or effort made. So means again, compense is to compensate. So it says that it's a righteous thing with God to pay back somebody, to pay back tribulation to those who troubled you. You see that? Further showing that if you give some, if you trouble somebody, it's righteous with God that you be troubled for the trouble that you inflicted on somebody else. Galatians 6 and 7. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So don't be deceived. You can't mock God. Whatever you put in, whatever seed you plant, whether it be good or bad, that's the kind of fruit that's gonna grow. If you plant a good seed, it's gonna come back good fruit. If you plant a bad seed, it's gonna come back bad fruit. So what you sow, you're gonna reap. You see what I'm saying? So this is 3 scriptures already just showing you that the Bible teaches karma. And our people would agree with these scriptures. Matthew 7 and 12. What therefore all things whatsoever ye would do. Salakia. Let me start from the top. Matthew 7 and 12. Therefore, all things whatsoever ye would that man should do to you, do ye so to them. For this is the law and the prophets. So our people know this scripture. They call it the golden rule. Whatever you do unto others, you will have others to do unto you. And Christ said this is the law and the prophets. So if you want somebody to do evil to you, then do evil to other people, and it's going to come back on your own head. If you want people to treat you accordingly, if you want people to treat you like a brother, then treat other people like brothers. Treat them accordingly. You see what I'm saying? Jeremiah 30 and 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for prey. So those who devour the Israelites are going to get devoured. And all our adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. When we jump back up to Revelation 13:10, why? It's because we were led into captivity. I got another precept to go along with that. First Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 10. What nation hath not had part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? So when it says all that devour us shall be devoured and all our adversaries shall go into captivity, what nation on this planet has not had a part in our kingdom and has not had a part in leading us into captivity? So tying Jeremiah 30 and 16, First Maccabees 2 and 10, back into the very first scripture I read, Revelations 13 and 10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. That's why it says back down in 30 and 16 that all our adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil. Let's go back to First Maccabees 2 and 10. What nation hath not had part in her kingdom? This part, what nation hath not had part in her kingdom, is them taking us into captivity and gotten of her spoils. What nation hasn't spoiled us? Going back to Jeremiah 30 and 16, and they that spoiled thee shall be a spoil, which is why we get the kingdom. This is kind of off topic, but this is why when we get the kingdom in Isaiah, I want to say 61, Isaiah 16:11, they're going to be bringing the forces or the riches of the Gentiles to us. And all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. All right, let's move on though. Genesis 12 and 3. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curse thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. So this is talking about Abraham. And it's saying, and I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curse thee. And all the families of the earth shall be, through thee, all the families of the earth shall be blessed. So those who bless the Israelites shall be blessed, and those that curse us shall be cursed. But we just read in First Maccabees 2:10, all the nations have cursed us. So they got to feel that pain. You see what I'm saying? Before I get the rest of these, I want to get this real quick. Second Esdras chapter 5 and verse 42. And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring. Like as there's no slackness of the last, even so is there no swiftness of the first. So, our people got this saying, what goes around comes around. It said, the Most High said he will liken his judgment unto a ring, right? You see this ring, I can't penetrate it through no sides. I can't break through it through no sides. 360, right? It says, as there is no slackness in the ring, there's no swiftness in the first. Meaning what goes around comes around. What you do got to come back to you. Because that's just righteousness. That's righteous for your actions to be done unto you. Because clearly you had no problem in treating somebody evil or in treating nobody good for it to come back to you. Right? Let's hit these last couple of precepts so I can close out. Numbers 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. And if any mischief follow, then thou shalt give Salakia. I'm just reading. Let me slow down and read that again. Numbers 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defiles the land. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So we see here when you're dealing with the concept of justice and karma, how karma ties into justice. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood defiles the land. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So if somebody sheds blood, the only way they defile the land, they shed blood, and the only way to cleanse the land is to shed the blood of him that shed the blood. That was a little tricky. Let me say it again. The only way to clean the land that's been defiled by blood is to kill the man that defiled the land with blood in the first place, which goes directly into this next precept through the Spirit. All praises to the Most High. Exodus 21, starting at verse 23. And if any man, and if any mischief follow, then thou shalt give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burning for burning, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. So, the context of this is if two men are fighting and they accidentally hurt a pregnant woman. As a matter of fact, hold on, Salah, before I say that, let me just make sure I know what I'm talking about. I don't want to speak from my own heart. Karma and justice. And all these scriptures I'm reading, the scriptures that demonstrate the concept of karma. And our people would agree with all these scriptures. They would agree that that's right, and they would agree that that's just. But let's not let me talk from my own heart. Verse 22, and if men strive and hurt a woman with child, hurt a woman with child, so that her fruit depart from her, so that she miscarries, yet no mischief follow, he shall surely be punished, as the woman's husband will lay upon him. He shall pay as the judges determine. You see that? So if no mischief follow, he shall surely be punished according as the woman's husband will lay upon him, because you took that man's child from him. You see what I'm saying? You caused the wife to miscarry, and you took that man's seed from him. You took that man's child from him. So whatever he deems necessary, he shall pay as the judges determine. And if any mischief follow, then thou shalt give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand. So yeah, that's what I thought. I had it right. I just wanted to make sure I don't want to speak from my own heart. So yeah, you see that? You get life for life, eye for an eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burning for burning, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. See what I'm saying? What you did got to be done unto you. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse. I ain't gonna read all. I want to just get straight to the point. Matter of fact, let's just go into it. Joel 3 and 4. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye may remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place where ye sold them, and will return your recompense on your head. Stop right there. So the Tyrrhenians and the Zidonians, these are Canaanites. In all the coast of Palestine, you know about Palestine. You see, it says they sold Judah, they sold the southern kingdom unto the Grecians and removed us far from our borders. It says, I will raise them out of the place where you have sold them. So we're going to be gathered back together and we'll return the recompense. And the Most High is going to gather us back together and return Tyre and the Zidonians, the recompense on their own head. Watch this, verse 8. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hands of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for Yahweh hath spoken it. So the same way that the Tyrrhenians and the Zidonians did to us, sold us into the Grecians, that we might be removed far from our border, so will the Most High gather us and give us the Canaanites, the Tyrrhenians, and the Zidonians, and we will sell them into the hand, and we will sell them to the Sabians, to a people afar off. Isaiah 14:21, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. So it says, prepare slaughter for the children, for the iniquity of their fathers. This will kind of put me in mind of Lamentations 5 and 7, where it says, our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have bore their iniquity. You see what I'm saying? So all these scriptures I read, these precepts I pulled, they all tie in and show the concept of karma in the scriptures. When I put these precepts together, just gathering them, it wasn't to say the other nations necessarily in mind. It was to read, because like I said, when you talk about the other nations to Israelites in the world, they get all bent out of shape, and that's not right, and let it go, let bygones be bygones. But then you read these scriptures and you take nations out of it and just say, well, what about this? Does this show you know what I'm saying? The concept of karma, does this show what goes around comes around? And they'd agree. So then you ask them, so why is it that we had to pay for our forefathers' sins? Why is it that we had to bear the iniquities of our forefathers, and we're paying the cost today, and we weren't able to escape the judgment of the Most High God? But you want the other nations to be able to just rape, rob, and murder you for half a millennia, and then just, oh well, it's over, let's just forget about it and move on, or let's just forgive them and forget and move on. Man, and that's what I don't get, and that was the lesson I had planned, man. I'm just with that being said, I feel like I proved my point. I feel like I did a good job demonstrating the biblical concept of karma through the spirit. You know what I'm saying? With that, I'm gonna close out and say, call Elohim la Yahweh. I do so by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai and say Shalom. Yeah, let's talk about it again.